Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Please subscribe to my channel, it really does make a difference and I promise to love you forever if you do. In this video I'm going to introduce you to the first of two candidates for a Father of the Year award. Look out for the next video, which will be Wilson Scott. They both had sob stories to tell. You know, the sort that's designed to gain your victim's sympathy. They both had similar sob stories to tell, and they both told them to Seraphina. Seraphina wasn't impressed by their sob stories. Oh dear, I think their stories might just be about to backfire on them. Listen out for a special guest appearance by my cat at approximately 1 minute and 30 seconds into this video. Meet Felix Cavi. Felix Cavi has a really heartbreaking sob story to tell. Felix introduced himself to Seraphina. "Wow, you have a nice name," he said. "Where are you from and where do you stay?" "I live in a little town called Glastonbury," she said. "It's in Somerset in England. What about you?" "Wow, that's a nice place, friend," he said. "I'm from Canada, Vancouver. I've heard a lot about England." "It was nice I meet you, a friend from England. I'm planning to move to any good city in England after my next business trip." "What business are you in?" asked Seraphina. "I work as a drilling contractor for different group of construction companies, most especially an oil spillage companies in Canada, as marine petrochemical engineer by profession. My work entails drilling of crude oil, so I work in the sea. I'll be moving to any good city in England after my contract." "So why do you want to move to England?" she asked. "My job over here is so stressful and risky, and I'm planning to move to England to start a new life, and also build my new business. Invest in any good companies. Raise a family over there in England." "How old are you?" asked Seraphina, "if you don't already have a family?" "I am single, once married," he said. "I lost my wife and daughter in a car accident, so I have a son. He's school in America." "I'm so sorry about your wife and daughter," said Seraphina. "How awful for you. Why isn't your son at school in Vancouver? Surely he needs his dad." "Well, if you must know," he said, "when my late wife died, there was no one out there to look after Liam, so I decided to send him to a missionary school in America. He stays in the school while I'm here working in the sea, and moreover, there is no possible means Liam can stay with me, because living in the sea is one big risk, which I would never want him to experience. I love him so much. He's all I've got for now, and he's so precious to me." "Where do you work?" he asked. "I'm a spiritual lady," said Seraphina. "I work to bring peace and harmony to people's lives, so I work for myself from home." "Oh, that's nice," he said. "Are you married with kids?" "I have a grown-up daughter who's in India with her boyfriend. My partner and I split up 2 years ago." "Oh," he said. "So how do you manage to feed? Hope you're not being stressed by your job." I'm very afraid that Seraphina might be developing Annie's facetious streak. She said, "What? I use a knife and fork like everyone else. What a ridiculous question. And why would helping bring people peace and harmony cause me stress? Are you talking to someone else and muddling us up?" After an apology, which Seraphina accepted, she asked, "What kind of business are you thinking of starting when you come to England?" "I plan to build a hospital and also invest in any good companies," he said. "My goodness," said Seraphina, "you must have a lot of money if you think you can build a hospital and invest in companies. Won't setting up a hospital cost millions of dollars?" "Yes, of course," he replied. "I planned for that, so I'll make my late parent proud. That was my mum's plan before her death, so I will like to make her proud." "I've never met anyone super rich before," said Seraphina. "Do you have several houses and a boat? Did your mum come from a rich family?" "I have a house in Canada," he said, "but I will like to relocate. I work in ship, so we don't use boat. I come from middle class." "Okay then." "If you didn't inherit money," she said, "you must have made a lot of money somehow to have enough to build a hospital. How on earth did you make that much money?" And here comes the rest of that sob story. 24 years ago, it wasn't easy for me losing both my parents on the same day. I was very close to my parents. As the only child, I was spoilt, and they always tried to provide everything I want. I was born and brought up as a Catholic. I have not gone back to Germany since I left, as I'm not close to any relatives, for I never grew up having any relatives or family members. We had a fight over my dad's properties after he died. I was so disappointed in them and decided to move out of Germany, as I am not a material person, so that's why I moved to Canada. I still find it very odd that you've sent your son to America when you've lived in Vancouver for 24 years, said Seraphina. There's no way I would have sent my Crystal to live in another country. Why can't he go to boarding school in Vancouver, so you can at least visit him when you're at home? I'll light one of my special candles to help bring you clarity. Your son needs you. Thanks a lot, friend, he said. I know he must be missing me now. He's about to regret that sob story. He really is. And if you have enough money to come to England, build a hospital and invest in companies, you shouldn't be working somewhere that means you can't have him with you, she said. That's just irresponsible. At his age, he needs you. I'll light that candle to help bring you focus and make the right decisions for your son's well-being. I have a contract to sign, he said, but because of the pandemic, the contract has been extended. After the contract, I will be moving to England, so I will go pick him in America. Then we can have a happy family again. I'm sorry, she said, but I don't think you should have signed that contract. You should be with your son. Just break the contract and leave your job. I know my son is more important to me, and I know you are really a good mother for all child, because just in some little time we meet as friends, you have really been more consigned on my son. I will tell him about you, and he will be very happy to meet you when we relocate to England. The contract is just the last contract, so I need to do it, because it's not nice for me to drop in the area they needed me most in the contract. Whatever that meant, I have no idea. How long ago did you lose your wife? Asked Seraphina. I just don't want to go back to my past memories about her. I lost her 2 years ago. And Seraphina's about to lose it. So you're telling me, she said, that at the age of 8 you sent your son, who had just lost his mother and sister, to live with strangers in a boarding school in America? You really aren't a very nice man, are you? I can't even begin to imagine how you could do that. I did tell you his sob story was going to backfire on him. I know how to feel, friend, he said. I did it because that was the only way I can keep my son safe. Where I work over here, we're not even allowed to make a phone call or video call, and I can't go home because when I'm out, I'm out. It's just a little bit of time, friend. I know how you feel as a mother, but that was the only way I think it will be more safe for my son. Seraphina was still outraged. She said, you have no right to be working anywhere that means you can't be with your son. That's just uncaring and irresponsible. You have loads of money. You don't even need to work. Stop making excuses and man up. That's what I'm doing now, friend, he said. That's what I want to face after this contract. It's not going to long time. I will get the contract and it will be done as soon as possible. Seraphina continued, I'm not even interested in talking to a man that thinks a contract is more important than his 10-year-old bereaved son. Either leave and go and get your son, or go away and stop talking to me. I will do as you said, he said. I will go get him as soon as possible, friend. Thanks for your advice, but I need to think on how to do that now. You certainly do, said Seraphina. I will light a candle to help bring you clarity in decision-making. I will go get him. It's all right, friend. Thanks, he said. I know he will be just so happy and full of joy to know you want him with you, she said. He must feel so lonely and unwanted right now. To which he replied, Give me your Gmail so I can add you in the Hangout. We can talk, because all time I can't be able to talk to you over here all time. Which was another way of saying Facebook are about to delete my fake account, which they duly did. Over on Hangouts, Father of the Year put that slightly differently. Sorry, I can't talk to you through Facebook, because due to the network over here in my workplace, we don't have a good connection, so I think I have some problem with my Facebook account. Good morning, said Seraphina the next day. Hope you had a night that brought you clarity in decision-making. I used 2 of my special candles, one for you and one for your son, and also used some of my own home-grown herbs. Yes, he replied, my night was so good, friend. Thanks for your effort. I really think it's right for me to go to take my son in America, but I have to submit a living letter before I can be permitted to live. How was your night? What's a living letter? Asked Seraphina. I need to take permission before I live to go take my son by submitting a living letter. Without, I am not be permitted. I won't be allowed to live by the security. I have submitted it, but they have not received it. It might take 3 to 4 days for me to get a reply, so I pray it goes well." 3 to 4 days to receive an email, said Seraphina. "I don't think you're taking this seriously." "Get on the phone to your senior manager and explain the situation." "Please," he said, "I know how you feel as a mother, but I'm doing my best. Don't worry. It will be okay. I might not even be up to that. I just pray I get an email as soon as possible. I just want you to pray for it to be well and quick." "You aren't up to making a phone call?" said Seraphina. "Are you a man or a coward?" "I'm just confused," he said. "Don't worry. I will do my best as soon as possible. I will get my son, and I will make you proud. It's a promise." "Okay," said Seraphina. "I don't see anything to be confused about. Your son needs you. You have a lot of work to do. Imagine how he felt at 8 years old, having just lost his mother and sister, only to find his father doesn't want him either and sent him away. At least that's how he will see it." "No," he replied. "My son knows I am doing the best for him as a father. He knows I love him, and he knows my work is so risky, and he knows he can't stay with me here because it's not safe. I miss him." "Don't be ridiculous," said Seraphina. "He's 10 years old. He doesn't understand any of that. All he knows is that his dad has abandoned him and is making excuses." No, he said. "I knows my son. He's a very smart boy. I know he's just still young, but he make plans with me, and he knows how I feel now. He knows it's not safe for me over here. Don't worry. I will clear this mess, okay?" "And how do you think he feels," said Seraphina, "knowing his dad, the only person he has left in the world, isn't safe? Why would you even do that to him?" "He understands my pains," he replied, "and he knows what I am passing through over here. Are you from India?" "India?" asked Seraphina. "Why do you say that? I'm from England. Although my grandmother was a Romany gypsy, it's her gift that I inherited. And I still don't understand why you would inflict that kind of suffering on a 10-year-old child, putting yourself in danger and telling him about it. Most parents would do anything possible to not tell their children that, so that they didn't worry. You really do need help to even begin to understand the mind of a child, don't you? So stop making excuses, phone your senior manager, and get things sorted." "I told you," he said. "I will solve the problem, okay?" "Okay," she said. "Let me know when you have. I really don't want to hear any more of your excuses for allowing your own child to suffer in this way. I will meditate for him to forgive you." "Thanks a lot," he replied. "I will do it, and make my son be with me as soon as possible, okay? Have you had food?" "Don't ask stupid questions," said Seraphina. "Get on with sorting out the problem." "Okay," he said. "I just want to know, have you eaten?" "Stop being bloody ridiculous, man," said Seraphina. "Go and sort out your life and your son. Why on earth would you want to know if I've eaten? And for the record, I don't eat. I'm a breatharian." Having absolutely no idea what Seraphina had just said, Father of the Year replied, "Okay." This candidate for a Father of the Year award disappeared and was replaced by the subject of the next video, Wilson Scott. Look out for his story, coming soon to a computer near you. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please like it, please share it, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you again in another Keep Safe on the Net video on YouTube.